Live coming to you right here from the News Hub at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. My name is Efua Tieku. Top of the bulletin this afternoon. Family of 6 perish in floodwaters in Bosomtwe district of Ashanti region. Two drowned following spillage of Bagri Dam in Busa North, Upper East region. On the foreign front runner in Brazil's presidential election, Jair Bolsonaro, stopped at a campaign rally. We have details in the next 1 hour. Do stay on. Now, the Ghana Education Service says it will adopt innovative means to monitor the performance of students who will be home while their colleagues are in school. According to Deputy Director in charge of Public Affairs at the Ghana Education Service, Isaac Isiedode, extra classes will be organized for students in the Gold Track ahead of the enrollment in November.
Unless you have to go to a cafe, pay extra for it. Why is that the case? And what are you doing about it?
Yes. In fact, first of all, we have to apologize to the general public for the inability of the system to generate the codes as we anticipated. Previously, they have to go to the private cafe operators to get a codes. But this time around, we wanted to save them from this trouble of the market demands where often they inflate the cost of these cars. So we said, by being behind your phone, just dial *713*24# and it will deduct 5 cedis. You're able to get your code and go onto our website to have your status checked. But it couldn't work out. We had plan B. The plan B was to revert to the previous system. So last night, we have asked the post offices, the rural banks, to have these cars sold to all interested persons, whether individually or in bulk, so they can have the code. Once they have the code, the system runs in, the CSSPS.gov.gh website. That's where you can check your status.
Beyond the apology to the parents, then what next?
Yeah, we actually anticipate that not all the candidates, the 490,000 candidates who are qualified to be placed, will be able to find spaces in all their 5 choices. We knew that. That's why we introduced the self-placement. The computer doesn't want to place anybody in any school that he has not selected. Otherwise, you could have just done that placement, because we're talking about competitive, meritorious placement system, where you select a school with, say, aggregate 9, but their superior passing candidates over there, they will displace you. You have to go to your next option school. That one too, you go and meet people there too who might have selected that place as what their first choices, and they might have a superior person. That one to be displayed. So it will run through till you don't find any school in any of your 5 choices.
Those with the gold track who are going to stay at home till 8th of November, did you engage parents at any point in time on how to handle these kids while they're at home?
The ministry, GES, they have met various stakeholders, the clergy, heads of schools, parents at all levels. You have a situation where the current capacity for the senior high school, it means that about 181,000 will not go to school. Who child wants to stay home for this child to go next 3 years? No. We're asking about the children who will be in the house waiting for their turn. We are engaging teachers, national service people in every district. They are placing about 4 teachers in every district or circuit where classes will be organized for them in every space that they find themselves. Why they are at home? They assume that they are having their vacation.
Where will these classes be taking place? Are parents aware of the center?
Oh yes, we have a lot of church halls or community centers.
To do the classes in church halls?
We are. It's a temporary kind of a structure, and already people are organizing classes in some of these structures already. And even we can take advantage of some private schools when they close. We can go in there and also have the classes.
This is supposed to take place just next week, and so from what you're saying, I don't hear any certainty in it. You're saying it's something we are still in the process of doing, but the students' first batch is going next week. So when is this classes and the motivation for teachers and the structures and church halls going to start?
I hope you know about NAPCO. They have completed the recruitment of NAPCO people.
And today on What Do You Think, some parents of qualified senior high school applicants who are experiencing challenges under the computerized school selection placement are asking government to extend the dates for reporting or scrap the system.
Senior high schools are expected to resume Tuesday, September 11. However, there are two outstanding issues. Over 67,300 students who have no idea whether they belong to the green or the gold track, and schools that have no final breakdown of students to enroll. Should the date be pushed back? We find out today on What Do You Think?
To me, some of the problems at stake, they can extend it for probably 2 weeks, so we can prepare well. My son had 11. And they gave him some school. I don't want to mention the name, it's not good. But other people had 15, 17, 18, had the school I chose for my son.
I think the time is not enough. They should at least extend it because the replacement just came in this week. And some of the kids are supposed to be in school on Tuesday. The time is too short.
My problem is if they can extend the time or the days for us, or they would possibly change it for me today and then I go and make my preparation.
The problem is my daughter couldn't get a replacement in the school that you choose. I think they should give an extension because the Tuesday is too close.
My bani problem ni dia ya me. Almost me say see ma oba no day ya yentimi dane no nko boarding but me fikede akwala no so 16 but omuma no Accra Senior High day me dey na akwala na fikede aba Accra Senior High no omo se me pe school a eben ne na me ma me bani nko day but school eben me bani be ko day na technical bani so ye science student dey to so mienu so ye girls school no so ye boy. Inti me dey ma me ba no akọ.
Me sure some extension of the date e be to ma boa no bia we owo problem bia we to me solve am no. Me problem dey eson so e be end because ya whatever. No man na to amasa my day from time to amasa na I think so to me.
Ya pese date no mun twin ko kakra. Emmaye. Because enyo bia na obetimi solve ni problem ene. On wana Monday me ba no onya school no wa history. Na mimi wa Accra minim obi a wa history na enye boarding so dey no nyae ma mi wa usha me den ama kwala na akọ.
Now, 2 persons are reported dead after they drowned in a river Janse at Sinisi, a farming community in the Busa North District. The Janse River takes its source from the Black Volta. Now, these deaths are a result of the Bagri Dam spillage, which runs directly into the Black Volta. The sad incident occurred yesterday at about 2 p.m. Search and rescue is underway. So far, 1 body has been retrieved. Victims' identity is yet to be known. This incident brings the total number of deaths in the region to 3. It will be recalled that 1 death was reported in the Wale district of the northern region. A total of 1,000 people have been displaced. Their houses have been either inundated or collapsed by the flood. Currently, most victims are staying in nearby schools. Let's now speak with our Upper East correspondent, Tanko Rabiu. Good afternoon to you, Tanko.
Good afternoon.
Under what circumstances did these 3 people drown when the area was to have been evacuated?
Please come again.
Under what circumstances did these 3 drown?
Yeah, thank you very much. The 2 were drowned when the water was very high. The water level at the Bagri Dam, it was still almost a week now, and then each day the water kept increasing. So the 2 were trying to cross over to the other side of the other communities, and when they were drawn yesterday at 2 p.m. Like Rattle mentioned so far, one of them is yet to be identified. and as I speak to you, Nadmo and their team are on the ground, and especially in these communities that have been affected. That is Tennessee, Gaza, and then the other communities surrounding the Busa South. So as I speak to you, they are currently in search of the other victims who might have been who might have been victims of this incident, because some eyewitnesses are saying that it's not only the two, but others too might have been fought, because a lot of activities went on yesterday where a lot of people were trying to pass, so they believe more are yet to pass. So Nadmo is still having the search in this area, especially in the river, and then they have dispatched a lot of experienced people who knows much about swimming and diving, who are also going around in the river and other adjoining tributaries to find out whether there are more deaths.
Tanko, what about the displaced? We are told about 1,000 people are displaced. What help have they received?
Yes, currently NADMO is going around the communities appealing to other residents to accommodate these displaced residents, because there are no alternatives yet. Though NADMO has presented a lot of relief items to them, mattresses, blankets, and rest, but where to lay their heads is what NADMO is appealing to residents to kindly accommodate these residents whilst they look for other alternatives for their accommodation.
Thank you very much, Tanko. Tanko Rabiu, our Upper East correspondent. Now, on to some more issues on flooding. A family of 6 have perished at Esreso Adeja in the Bosomche district of Ashanti when they got washed away by flood waters. The bodies have been retrieved and deposited at the morgue. Let's now cross over to join our correspondent Beatrice Piogabra at the scene.
It's a sorrowful scene here at Adeja in the Bosomche district of the Ashanti region, where 6 members of a family who are also members of the Jehovah's Witnesses died last night. They were working on a hall, that is a Jehovah's Witness wall, and after 9 p.m. they decided to go home, but unfortunately as they got here, due to a heavy downpour that started around 5 p.m, their vehicle was washed away by the flood waters. I have with me here an eyewitness who is also a welder and stays close by the river and can account to us what happened exactly. The
wife and a guy back on the minimum about 2 minimum.
So what this man is saying is that last night he left his shop and was going home, but he remembered that he's left his phone in the house, in the shop, and he came back. Unfortunately, he saw that the waters have overflown the bridge and 2 vehicles were trying to cross, but the first one that tried to cross was washed away by the water and 6 people perished in it. I also have another eyewitness who also briefed us to how they were able to retrieve the bodies from the car. Any panic and quite some fast so in some fast to you.
The woman is how much be 4:30 no, and Chame ne Croman paying for buy any approach one buy no begunsa. So Mugunsa na member and 9 is he carrying, is he soon. That many boy back was now. Until many nipa, you pay your body in a free in some more about Bontin. You declare ye mammy Dicano. Any ye on the bano. Any ye Bama Bacon a waha. Fancy Chroma Gay, Mammy and Sa. Pay 7:30 to 80 Yamia, Binya, Boys now, Umusima, Umukunya, Papanoa, Urisukana, Mwa, Omedekoye.
So this is one of the volunteers who also helped in retrieving the bodies from the car. He's saying that at that very moment, they were able to retrieve about 4 people from the car, but the man, that is the man who was driving the vehicle itself, they were not able to retrieve him until early this morning, that some libation and rituals were performed, that they were able to retrieve the man also from the stream. So all the bodies as at now have been retrieved and sent to the morgue. So that is the situation here at Adeja, where 6 people died last night. A woman, a son, a husband, and other relatives who were working on a Jehovah's Witness hall. They tried going home, but unfortunately they were washed away by flood waters and they all perished. NADMO officials are here. They are trying to pull out the vehicle from the river. So that is the situation here at the moment. Beatrice Piogabra, TV3 News, Adeja.
Let's now turn our attention to issues of employment, and members of the Ghana Association of Private Employment Agency are calling on government to immediately suspend a ban placed on their activities or they hit the streets to register their displeasure. The association says the ban placed on them for 16 months now by government is having a negative impact on their livelihoods.
The Ghana Association of Private Employment Agency is licensed by the Labour Department of the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations to operate in and outside Ghana. The association is made up of various recruitment agencies who usually recruit or source for workers, train and supply them to companies that need their services. Both skilled and unskilled persons are recruited to countries in the Gulf and one in Europe. The association says since its operation in 2015, they have recruited and sent about 5,000 workers to different countries. The recruited persons usually have between 2 to 3 years contract to work in those countries, after which they have to return to Ghana. But the association says government for the past 16 months has suspended their activities.
The Honorable Minister made us to understand at the beginning that the measures he took was temporary suspension and not a ban, and that it's to allow his ministry restructure the industry. But for suspension to go beyond 1 full calendar year is very disturbing and questionable. We strongly believe we are being made to pay for the wrongs of illegal recruiters. We are fully registered and licensed by the government. We pay our taxes regularly, and for many years now, we have been playing a significant role in providing thousands of very good jobs abroad to Ghanaians, and none of our members have ever been incriminated in any legal activity. Hardly has any worker recruited by a government licensed agency been repatriated because of maltreatment.
The group said the excuse given by government for the suspension of the operations is false.
The reasons he gave were that there are people who are stranded in the Gulf countries. And then he spoke about abuses too. The police department has vetted us. They have done background checks. The government has taken 25,000 cedis from each company as a deposit.
They urged government to lift the ban now or they hit the streets on September 18 to register their displeasure. According to them, some workers had been laid off owing to the suspension. Some returnees also spoke to the news team.
I've traveled to Kuwait. That was 2014. I've been there for 3 years. And when I came back, I wanted to go back, either Kuwait or Saudi. But there's no chance.
Government needs to assist these people to move on. Those of us who go legally, he attacked those people instead. So where are we going?
A news just in on a rather sad note, a former Supreme Court Judge VC RAC Crab is reported to have died at age 95. He is reported to have died Friday morning after a short illness. Vincent Cyril Richard Arthur Charles Crab was born in October 29, 1923. He is a former professor of law at the University of West Indies. Crab was Special Commissioner to the 1968 Constitutional Commission, legislative draftsman to the 1969 Constituent Assembly, which drafted the 1969 Constitution of Ghana. He was also the chairman of the 1979 Constituent Assembly and drafted the 1979 Constitution of Ghana. Crab, until his demise, served as a professor of law at Mount Crest University College in Accra. So we are trying to reach officials of the Mount Crest University to give us a bit of a bit of his last days with them. So as soon as we get them on the lines, we'll give you that interview. Now to politics, and the NDC has settled on November 3 as the date for its upcoming National Congress to elect new national executives to man the party. The party settled on November 3 after a series of deliberations by the National Executive Committee, NEC. The party has also settled on the Accra International Trade Fair as venue for the National Congress. As part of our build-up to the elections, we engaged one candidate this afternoon. Now, he is an aspiring national coordinator for Zongo Caucus in the upcoming national elections of the NDC. Abdulaziz Mohammed is projecting he would win the race by 80% of the votes. Good afternoon to you, Abdulaziz.
Good afternoon.
Now, 80% of the votes you say you would win. That's quite ambitious. What's the basis for that confidence?
Good afternoon. You can see that the wind is blowing everywhere. The youth are taking over the party and looking at Zongo and considering the Zongo and taking the Zongos into consideration. Nobody will tell you that the Zongo need a young and vibrant gentleman who can lead the party to victory. And among the candidates going in for the National Zongo Caucus coordinator position, I'm the youngest and very vibrant and well connected to all the 10 regions in the country. And with that I believe that even the 80% we underestimated it, because already hearing the grounds will tell you that Abdulaziz Mohammed, the Zongo commando, is already in control.
What is your appeal? What is your appeal with the youth in the Zongo communities?
You see, it has been there. The records has been there because during the 2016 election, we came out with Action Youth for Mahama. We already established structures in all the 275 constituencies. And the bases were already there. Even with those youth people, we were able to motivate almost 103 people to vie for the constituency position whom they have won. And with these people, they are already on the ground doing the work for me.
Right, now the MPP is quite serious with the Zongo community. It has a ministry for Zongo. What new do you bring on board?
You see, history had did that. NDC is for Zongo and Zongo is for NDC.
Yeah, but the MPP is also really making inroads in there.
Yeah, you see, though I don't want to call the Zongo mystery a Trojan horse virus, because in 2017 budget they allocated 219 million to it, but they have disbursed nothing to the Zongo ministry. 2018 budget too, they have allocated 150 million Ghana to the same ministry again, but they ended up within this 2 years period disbursing only 500,000 cedi to this Zongo community, Zongo ministry, which cannot even dread the gutter of Nima and Mambobi. That's to tell you that, though I don't want to call it a Trojan horse virus, but indeed, as a matter of fact, consider what the NDC did for Zongo. You see, NDC having the Zongo at heart, in 1993 we established the Chief Imam Office to coordinate the activities of the Zongos and the Muslim communities in the country.
So going forward, what is your vision for it? What do you intend to do if you indeed are successful in this position?
First of all, we'll create a common platform and bring all the Zongo Caucus coordinators on board, and we connect them through the party. I will make sure that the Zongo Caucus coordinators take in charge of the activities of the party and advertise the party. Also, I will establish a Zongo Caucus coordinators in all the tertiary institutions in the country to target the Zongo youth in those tertiary institutions so that we can mobilize them to secure an overwhelming victory for NDC in 2020. You see, I can tell you today, even the victory itself, I want it more than any candidate we are electing for the 2020.
Thank you very much. Abdulaziz Mohammed is an aspirant for the NDC National Zongo Coordinator position. Now to our MTN video report for today. Our citizen journalist Anyas reports on an uncompleted school project at Namango in the northern region.
The construction of this building started 11 years ago, since the constructor left this place. And since then, nobody has attended to this building again. This is a primary school that is supposed to serve 2 communities here. That is Namangu and then Bumburga. That is a nearby community. There's no furniture in this school, and during school days, the children are forced to sit on the sand like that for studies. We appeal to the appropriate authority to come to our aid to help us finish this building. Anyas, a citizen journalist reporting for TV3, Namangu, is on proceed to strike.
Thank you very much, Anyas. You can also send your video reports via our WhatsApp platform 055 1433044. This is Midday Live. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. The Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, has asked for a forensic audit into some $9.83 million allegedly lost as a result of underpricing of crude by the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. Reacting to a letter written by the Finance Ministry to the GNPC to explain the circumstances under which Ghana is said to have lost some funds, Chairman of the committee, Dr. Steve Mantiao, said a mere directive for explanation would yield no results.
Dr. Mantiao believes a mere directive by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, for the GNPC to explain why it sold crude oil from 10 fields at a lower rate is not enough to address these anomalies. In a July 2018 letter, Ken Ofori-Atta said they allowed the off-takers to choose the lowest possible price for the product when it could have insisted on the highest possible price within the pricing window. The state would have gained a total of $34.12 million more, the Finance Ministry observed. While urging the GNPC to treat the matter with urgency, the Finance Minister tasked GNPC to take steps to amend the contract with off-takers for lifting of the 10 crude oil, to take advantage of the high prices and also take steps to ensure that the SGN and all other fields do not suffer consistent revenue losses due to the GNPC's favored pricing options. The GNPC was recently in the news for a different controversy where its chief executive, Dr. KK Sapon, was accused of ordering an urgent transfer of $7.5 million to a company he once worked for in 2017. The amount was for payment of a 6-block residential apartment purchased from Global Haulage Company Limited, where KK Sapon was previously the CEO.
President Akufo-Addo says poorly managed local banks cannot expect government support following the collapse of 7 banks. The president was worried after pumping some 8 billion cedis of taxpayers' money into these collapsed banks. Poor liquidity challenges still persisted.
President Akufo-Addo was addressing the Ghanaian community in Rwanda's capital, Kigali, on Thursday. He told the gathering Ghana cannot have a situation where the dominant banks in the country are all foreign banks. This, he said, is a dangerous situation which must not be allowed to happen. There have been allegations that the collapse of some 7 banks between last year and this year is a part of a deliberate effort to boot out local banks and make way for vested interests of some persons in government. Opposition National Democratic Congress legislator for Bongatanga Central, Isaac Adongo, for instance, has accused the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, of working together with the Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchange Commission to collapse banks that are competing with Data Bank in the financial sector.
Head of Research at Absa Group Limited, Jeff Gabel, has cautioned against the declining loans to the private sector. Speaking at this year's Ghana Economic Forum in Accra, he argued the unavailability of loans to small businesses will stifle economic growth.
Stock of non-performing loans stood at 8.74 billion Ghana cedis as at the end of second quarter this year. As a result, Banks have reduced lending in order to take advantage of less risky income sources, such as short-term treasury bills and longer-term bonds issued by government, even though interest on government securities, short and long-term, has reduced over time. Banks still prefer to take refuge in other forms of investment instead of giving out more loans, which could go bad.
You really need to look at what is the actual impact on the economy and how it benefits the ordinary citizens in terms of and employment, etc. It's so important to ensure that you have a healthy banking system.
Jeff Gabo says the economy remains vulnerable to global shocks and encouraged government to diversify in order to promote economic growth.
Customers of Alpha Capital Savings and Loans are calling on the Bank of Ghana to help them retrieve their deposits and investments. For 6 months, the company's offices and banking halls have been closed, with management nowhere to be found.
Alpha Capital Savings and Loans, with its head office at Adabaka in Accra, were in the news in the early part of the year, with disgruntled customers demanding their locked-up investment. The management of the company began paying customers between 200 cedis and 1,000 cedis, but asked for renegotiation payment dates of customers with more than 1 million cedis. 6 months on, the Savings and Loans Company have closed its doors, with its management nowhere to be traced. Customers come to their offices on daily basis to see if their doors would be open to receive their monies.
The year 2015, I went on peacekeeping mission in Somalia. So while there, I was bringing some of my allowances back home to do investment. Somewhere February 2018, this year, my money got matured, so I came to actually withdraw. When I came, they told me they were having some crisis. For that matter, I should give them some time. And anytime I come here, I'm not even able to see them. Like they have vanished. In fact, I'm very hot actually. Because I had money which I thought I could use to do something better. But now, I'm rather going for loan from other places and I'm rather paying interest out of it. And as I'm here, I'm looking for them, but I can't find them. That's the situation I find myself.
A BOG Banking Supervision Department report obtained by TV3 Business on Alpha Capital Savings and Loans, among other things, show connected lending to Samtro Company Limited, whose managing director is the shareholder and director of Alpha Capital. The Savings and Loans also established a subsidiary, Alpha Securities, with the Securities and Exchange Commission without the approval of the Bank of Ghana. It also misreported its financials to the regulator, breaking the Banking Act.
We have sports after the break. The Reggae Dance Hall Artist of the Year and winner for Gadangbe and Ewe Music Awards 2018, Martin Morgan, with stage name Lord Morgan, says he is ready to work hard to win more awards, both locally and internationally. The Show Me style hitmaker expressed his strong determination to win more laurels such as VGMA, Afrima, BET and Grammys.
Lord Morgan. Tell him we have more than Mr. Brown and Gazi.
The Gadangbe and Ever Film Awards is to appreciate, recognize and celebrate the hard work and dedication of the various players in Ghana's music industry. Lord Morgan won the ultimate award. Morgan says being crowned Artist of the Year is going to put pressure on himself and his brand. The artist expressed his determination to win more laurels.
We are eyeing the 3 awards, the VGMAs, the BETs, the Afrimans, and even the Grammys, because we have songs which can be featured on any other platform.
Lord Morgan also voiced the challenges he's facing as an award-winning artist.
As an award-winning artist, I've been through a lot of challenges. Like maybe how to put your sounds out there, how to contact DJs. Ghana here, when you are not big to that standard, even a lot of professional DJs feel bad or feel shy playing your songs because they feel like they might have collected something from you, which is maybe not true. I believe one day we must have a platform when your songs are good and it has been featured on it. All hands just support it without any hindrance.
Before we end the news, let's take a look at the top stories once again. Family of 6 perish in flood waters in Bosomtwe district of the Ashanti region. 2 drowned following spillage of Bagri Dam in Bulsa North in the Upper East region. And front-runner in Brazil's presidential election, Jair Bolsonaro, stabbed at a campaign rally. And that's it for Midday Live for today. My name is Efua Tieku. Have a lovely weekend.